Welcome to another episode of the Strong Family Project podcast. I am Joe with a new style for you today. One person, one microphone, one light, one camera, all set up for a shorter style episode. So there's not going to be a lot of banter at the beginning of this one. We always have our 10-minute Tuesdays on Tuesdays. Our full length goes out on Thursday. And then we're going to also introduce some guest interviews coming up that are also going to be a little bit longer. So we heard from people that have been subscribing to our email list, following the Strong Family Project, that they would love a shorter style that they can listen to when they're going one place in the car, something to start their week off with. So here's what we're going to do today. On Monday, I'm going to give you a couple of the major tips that we have upcoming this week in a short, condensed style, and it's going to be about 5 minutes. So here we go. I'm on the clock. The first episode we have coming up this week on Tuesday is on decision making. Our family had to go through a wild decision-making process during 2020. So many people out there did. Our company that we owned were shut down for an extended period of time because it was in the fitness industry. We had rental properties, and in New York, they passed a rent moratorium that lasted for years where people stopped paying rent. We still had mortgages due, and the kids were not doing well in virtual learning, so we opted to homeschool. So we had all these things going on. We made a tough decision that, all right, this is painful enough for us to get to a place that aligns more with our values. And so we decided to potentially move across the country to a place where we knew no one. And on Tuesday's episode, we're going to explain the full process and what got us through that. But here's one major takeaway for you in this short style format. One step at a time. When you set a goal like, hey, I'm going to move across the country and completely change my life, it is so daunting that you can't even take that first step. It is invisible to you. You can only see how far away the end goal is. So instead of committing to something that you're not even quite sure you're going to do, you commit to one step. All right, this week we're going to research to see if it is a different lifestyle than what we currently have. Is that true? You question assumptions. You take that little step. All right, let's look at the school system. Let's compare that. All right, let's take that little step. And we go step by step to see if we can come to a major decision. Now, this doesn't just apply to moving across the countries. It could apply to how you're going to manage your kids' technology time. All right, let's try this one thing. Let's try this one thing. One thing at a time, because the whole seems just too daunting. So try one step at a time this week when it comes to big decisions. Second, our full-length episode this week is going to be a little bit more of an emotional one full with tough truths. We were posed a question, and we see a lot online, where people are getting to that 10 to 15 year of marriage and their significant other falls out of love with them. And so we have 8 ways to address, work on that, and improve relationships, whether it's on rocky ground or you want it to avoid getting on rocky ground. Thursday's episode is going to be chock full. Here's 2, though, for you. This just isn't a promo podcast. I actually want to give you some content one step at a time. And when it comes to the relationship side of things, first, lack of progress creates stale relationships. If you say, I'm not the way I used to be, that's good. You should be different. You should have progress in your life. Your family should grow. Your household should grow. If you don't have kids, your relationship together should grow. And if it's in the same or even worse, regressing, then it's going to be a catastrophe come that 10, 15 year mark. One way to give yourself a little self-test, if you were to write down the best days of your life and they were all right around when you were dating and getting married and none in the last 10 or 15 years, that shows that you have a lack of progress in your life and a relationship, and that's something you can take, combining the 2 episodes one step at a time. And here's the second one. We joke around and laugh a lot. We just posted on our official Strong Family Co. on Instagram the mom joke of the day, because Mel likes to write jokes for the kids in their lunch boxes as a little way to influence their day and give them something to talk about at lunch that is positive with their friends. Here's a little joke that my mom wrote me. We joke, laugh, have fun. However, relationships get on rocky ground when you aren't serious about serious things. Time to joke, time to be serious. If you're still collecting Marvel posters and Star Wars pictures, and if the outcome of the weekend's game affects your relationship during the week, you're prioritizing non-serious things over serious matters. it is tough to reflect because a lot of those things you can enjoy. I do love watching sports, love playing sports. However, my family relationship is much more serious, and if the team that I like loses, it's not going to influence my week. It's not going to influence my life. I'm not going to complain about the weather. I'm not going to complain about traffic. I'm going to get serious about serious things, which is your relationship. That has to be a priority. You said it was a priority when you got married, and you have to make that true. So that's what's upcoming this week. We're going to give you decision-making steps, one step at a time is a little piece for today's episode. And we're going to talk about 8 different ways to solidify your relationship or to save it if it's starting to get on rocky ground. Make sure you follow, and if you like this short format with just a couple tips, let us know with an email at strongfamilyco@gmail.com, and I will talk to everyone soon.